Hello everyone, welcome again to the accounts. And today just going to take a look at a borrowing cost example, or actually on general borrowing. For specific borrowing, you can just go to part 1 and part 2 of the standard. So for the period ending 1st December 2026, the following information relates to the construction of a plant, qualifying asset, and the outstanding borrowing for MM Limited. Now, expenditure on qualifying asset. We are given the date, the amount incurred, and the amount paid. For 240 million and paid nothing. The date February 200 paid 150. At 1st August 140 incurred but 160 paid. At 1st October 90 incurred and 90 paid. At the 1st December nothing incurred but 300 paid. In total of this one. Now note one thing. When dealing with borrowing that are general, we usually apply the capitalization rate on the amount drawn down and the incurred and drawn down. But you have to be careful here. If you are given amounts incurred and amount paid, you have to use the amount paid, because even if you take a look here, you incurred 240 but you hadn't paid, so you want to apply this 240 and use this amount paid. Here you incurred 200, so you in total you had incurred 440, but you had paid only 150, so you use 150. You come to the 1st August, you had incurred 240 plus 200 plus 140, but you had paid only this one, so you'd have to use the amounts paid and not the amounts incurred. So on the 1st December 2026, for the end of the year, the following borrowing for financing the plant construction are outstanding. Source of finance and annual interest rate, as well as the outstanding amount given them into the years in millions. We had 8 years secured loan, 13%, and the outstanding amount 250 million. Debenture 10%, 150 million. Bank overdraft 20%, 80 million, and other debts 11%, 100 million. All right, we're told included in other debts are 40% borrowings for purposes of financing other than qualifying assets. Now, I think you see this one. 40% of these other debts, that is 100 million times 40%, that is 40 million, is for financing other assets rather than qualifying assets. So it's obvious that they should not be involved when computing borrowing costs, right, for eligible for capitalization. Also, industrial dispute led to a halt of construction for both months of May and June 2028. So if there was an industrial dispute, that means you cannot capitalize borrowing costs for those 2 months of May and June. It's wrong because the year started in January and it ended in 1st December. So I would have to ignore these 2 months of May and June. All right? Yeah. What are we going to do? Compute borrowing costs eligible for capitalization for the year ending 31st December 2026. All right, now let's go to the solution. So first of all, we see that there are borrowings that are general, and then you have to compute the capitalization rate for general borrowing. How do we get that? As usual, total interest over total loan outstanding. So I'm just listing my sources of finance here. Source of finance, I had 8 years secured loan with 18%, but the loan amount was 50 million, right? Yes, I had the loan for 50 million here. 13%, and the loan is 250 million. And here 10%, the loan is 150. 20%, the loan is 80, and 11%, the loan is 100. But this one, we are told 40% was for assets rather than qualifying assets. So I'll just take 60% of that. All right. Okay. So I would obtain the interest is 0.13, that is 13% and 250, and I would have 32.5. The loan amount was 250. You got the debentures. I had 10% with 150 million loan. So 0.1 times 150, I have 50, and the loan was 150. You go to the bank overdraft, the rate was 20%. I think we saw it here. The rate was 20%, and the loan was 80. So I would have to obtain that one, 0.2 times 80, and I would have 16 million, and the loan is for 80. And the last one at other dates. Other dates are, you see here that the rate is 11%. The total loan is 100, but 40% of the loan for purpose of qualifying of other assets rather than qualifying assets. So I will take only 60%. 11% times 100 million times 60%, I would have 6.6 million. And the loan amount responsible for general or borrowing costs would be only 60% of 100 million, that is 60. And then I can obtain the total interest and the total loan amount. If I divide them, I would obtain my rate of capitalization. That would be 13%. Now, after having obtained that, you have to compute borrowing cost based on the capitalization rate. Now, you start with the dates as given from the question. We had 1st January, 28th February, 11th, 31st August, 31st October, 31st December, using the amounts paid. So if you do that, you can have the date and the borrowing cost. On 1st January, that means it stayed for the whole year for 12 months, right? It stayed for 12 months. So, but actually we said that during May and June there was industrial dispute, so it would remain at 10 months. That's why I multiplied by 10 over 12. The rate is 0.13. But if you go to the question, you find out that nothing was paid. So this one is 0, it's dashed. So that's why I use 0 and the borrowing cost is capitalized as 0. And the next one was on 28th February. From 28th February to the 1st December is 10 months. If you remove the months of May and June, you remain with 8 months. So I would approach it using 8 months here. The rate is 13%, and the amount paid is 150 million. So I would obtain 13. Then you proceed. 31st August, amount paid is 160. It is paid for 4 months from 31st August to 31st December. So just come here and you have it. 160 million, 0.1 capitalization rate times 4 over 12. And then you proceed with the question. 31st October stayed for 2 months and 90 million was paid. So I'll repeat the same thing here. 90 million times 0.13 times 2 over 12, you have 1.95. And you just come here to the last one, 31st December. 300 million was paid, but how do we do this? I just have to go 1st December, 300 million times 0.13, but it is stayed for 0 months. It is stayed for nothing because for 31st December, 31st December to, I don't think if you got this. I don't think if you got this. For 31st December to 31st December, it is 0. So no time has passed, so it's 0 for 12. So you have to know when not to include those months during which there was industrial dispute. Because from 31st August, the month of dispute was for May and June. So they would not affect the 31st August because from 31st August to December, you have passed May and June. So that's why they did not count for August and October, but they counted for January and February, right? So after having this, we obtain the total borrowing cost of 21.88, and you always have to compare with the actual cost. That's why I said this does not exceed actual cost of 7.1 million. This is the actual cost. So no problem, borrowing cost eligible for capitalization would obviously be 21.88 million. So this is all. Thank you for listening. Subscribe if you haven't done that, and thank you very much.